Welcome to another lecture on loops. Today we will see how to use while loop in Python. In the previous lecture we saw for loop is basically used to repeat piece of code for n number of times. On the other hand, while loop tells the computer to do something as long as the condition is true. So let's take an example of while loop. This person is listening the song and he will keep listening the song unless he presses the stop button. And when he presses the stop button, the song is going to definitely stop. So let's see the syntax of while loop. How can we write this in Python? This is the condition, and as long as this condition is true, the loop will continue. In this program, the variable total is containing the value 0, and in the first iteration it will check it is less than 5, so it will increment the value and print the value 1. In the next iteration, the total value is containing the 1 and it is less than 5, it will increment and again print the value 2. And in the next iteration, 2 is less than 5, it will increment and will give us the value 3. And 3 is again less than 5, so in the next iteration it will increment and we will get the value 4. And in the next iteration we will get the value 5. But in the next iteration, when it will go again to check that condition, and here total is containing the value 5, which is not less than 5 anymore, so this condition is not true anymore. And now the loop will be terminated, so the output of this program is 1 to 5. So let's visualize our code on a visualizer. So once again we are back on Python visualizer. So let's write a simple while program. Let's take the I is 0, and while I is less than 10, print this value and then increment it. So we are taking the value 0 here, and as long as this condition is true, it will keep looking inside the loop, print the value and then increment it. So let's visualize our code. So here first of all I is 0, it will go to the line number 3, we will check whether this condition is true or not. So 0 is less than 10, it will go to line number 4, print the value 0 and then increment it. And now we can see that I has become 1 now after incrementation. So now it will go back to the line number 3 and will check whether this condition is true or not. So 1 is less than 10, it will again go to line number 4, print the value 1 and increment it again. And now the value is 2, 2 is still less than 10, it will go to line number 4, print it and increment it. After executing the inside code of loop, it will go to the back to the condition and will check whether this condition is true or not. So 3 is still less than 10, it will execute the line number 4 and 5, and it will keep doing this unless this condition is not true. So after incrementing the value at this stage, I has become 10 and 10 is not less than 10, so this condition is not true anymore. So now it will not go inside the loop at the line number 4 or 5, rather it will terminate. So this is how we can use the while loop, and this is the output of our program from 0 to 9. So let's write another program. I want to keep taking the input from the users by using the while loop. So let's do it. First of all, take the input. Enter the number, and now I want to write it inside the while loop. First I have to declare the variable which is remainder, and as long as the remainder is 0, it will keep asking the input from the users. And now I want to divide these two values and want to store the remainder inside the remainder variable. So basically it will check whether the remainder is 0 or not, and if the remainder is 0, it will keep taking the input from the user. So let's visualize our code. So remainder is 0, and the condition is true, it will go inside the loop. It will ask the input, and let's give the input 20 this time, submit it, and again it will ask for the second input, and I will give 2. So after division we get the remainder 0 again. So again the condition is true, it will go inside the loop and ask the input again. Let's give the 30 and second input 3. So again remainder is 0, and let's see what happens now. Okay, so it has come inside the loop again and it is asking the input from the user again. So it will keep taking the input from the user unless the remainder is not 0. So let's give the value this time 39 and the second value is 12. So after executing the line number 8, we get the value 3. And here the condition is not true anymore because the remainder is not equal to 0. So it will not go further inside the loop and execute the 5, 6 or 8 line. It will be terminated here. So this is how while loop works.